Hello and welcome back. I want to talk today about how the Stoics turn every circumstance into an opportunity. And you may have heard this principle explained through the Stoic Flame, the Midas touch, the wand of Hermes, the obstacle is the way. It's very prevalent in Stoic literature. But in book 3 of the Discourses, Epictetus talks about this idea of every circumstance represents an opportunity. It's how they took any challenge or difficulty and turned it into something positive, character growth, wisdom, courage. They took any negative and turned it into a positive. So I'm going to explain it so a 5-year-old could understand this. So how do you turn any circumstance into an opportunity? Well, we're going to start with a story of an 18th century story, actually. An 18th century story of a carrot named Mithrandir. And this carrot wanted to be the prize carrot, you know. He wanted to be on all the posters and the billboards. And his end goal was to be such a sweet and succulent carrot that mocker Pierre White would cut him up and use him in a risotto. Well, anyway, this carrot is laying on his deathbed. Mithrandir. He's laying on his deathbed and he's just furious. He's lamenting life. He's angry at God. He's screaming at the heavens because he's this little shriveled up carrot. He was never the prized carrot. He never got used for anything. His fate would be to be tossed into the bin, just shriveled up and nasty. And, you know, he's lamenting his life. He's angry about his life. And God comes down, stands in front of him at his deathbed. And he's like, what is your problem? Really, what are you complaining about? He goes, you ruined me. I wanted to be something. I want to be something great in life. And you, where do I begin? It rained heavy on me over time. The winds were strong. The storms were horrible. You threw soil in my face. Not once, not twice. You buried me in soil. And the harsh sun burned down on me. And God's like, and you asked for strength. You asked for these great things. You wanted all this thing. I gave you the tools. I gave you the soil for nutrients. I gave you the rains to hydrate you. I gave you the storms to test the strength of your roots. I gave you all these things and you just cower away. And the carrot's there just laying on his deathbed like, oh, God, you was right. What did I do? You see, if you hire a personal trainer and you want to get stronger, you pay him £100 a week. You say, I want to get stronger. And the personal trainer writes you a program, gives you a diet, all these kind of things. It's quite difficult. And then 2 months later, you're no stronger. And you say to your personal trainer, it's like, you're rubbish. I'm weaker than before. The personal trainer's like, well, did you do what I asked you to do? He's like, well, no, you gave me a difficult diet. You gave me a difficult routine. I ain't doing any of that. And the personal trainer's like, well, you paid me to make you stronger. I'm giving you what you need to get stronger. Anyway, I'm going a little bit off topic. The point is, the Stoics, the idea that Epictetus talks about multiple times in his discourses, and Marcus Aurelius talks about this too, is the wrestler or the boxer. I'm going to stick to the wrestler for now because Marcus Aurelius likes the analogy of living life like a wrestler. So Epictetus says, in life, you ask for strength, you ask for courage, you ask for wisdom, you ask for temperance, you ask for all these things. And God provides you a sparring partner. And if you wanted to be a great wrestler, you can't get great by fighting children or, you know, fighting weaker opponents all the time. So God gives you a worthy opponent, gives you a great challenge. And this is your sparring partner in life. And you're given this wrestler to help you grow stronger. God is matching your strength and giving you a challenge to overcome. And this is the way you have to see life, that everything is a sparring partner. Epictetus literally says do this. It's not... You know, with basically everything in Stoicism, it's not just something to read and go, oh, that's an interesting idea. It's literally not a command, it's an instruction. do this and you'll become Stoic. This is what Marcus Aurelius was doing in his meditations. He was literally practicing Stoicism. That's how he became Marcus Aurelius. That's how Epictetus became Epictetus. Epictetus was a slave turned philosopher. His name means acquired or gained. He was just some guy that became this great Stoic philosopher. And it's because he actually did these things. So he's telling you when your bus is late, that's God giving you an opponent, teaching you patience. And you have to go, what is, bus is late. So sad. Test that impression. Is it sad? Well, no. What is it? God sent you a worthy opponent. It's not the most worthy opponent. It's an okay opponent. God's saying, here, you're late. Here's some patience. And you take that. And in everything, you have to ask yourself, what is this opponent teaching me? What can I learn from this opponent? Rude people, you can learn so much from rude people. Bad people, you can learn so much from bad people. You can learn compassion, empathy, courage. Without any of these things, it's like Hercules. You know, the Stoics really idolized Hercules. I could imagine that they kept posters of him. You know how bodybuilders keep posters of Arnie, or boxers keep posters of Muhammad Ali, or filmmakers keep posters of Quentin Tarantino, and Quentin Tarantino keeps posters of feet and stuff. Stoics keep posters of Hercules. And the Stoics say, like, what would Hercules be without his labors? He would be nothing. He would have never built up his courage. He would have never built up the justice, all these things, his character. He would have never built this up because life never challenged him. So you don't grow much from your sofa. You grow by facing the world. And every circumstance, visualize it as your opponent, your worthy opponent. And the thing is, this is like the obstacle is the way. You go through the obstacle. Life gives you that challenge. You go through it to get to the other side. It's like a stepping stone. And they say it's the wand of Hermes or the Midas touch. The wand of Hermes, anything it touches turns into gold. Midas, anything he touched turned into gold. Of course, Midas was a precautionary tale, but that's besides the point. We're saying the Stoics can turn anything into gold. Any situation, any difficulty, any circumstance, they can turn into gold. Rude person, gold. Late boss, gold. Lost your job, gold. Broke your leg, gold. They even go to the extent, Epictetus says that death is gold. And the guy's like, well, how can death be an opportunity? What are you on about? He says, well, I'm going to die living in accordance with nature. I'm going to die representing my nature, representing courage. I'm not going to cower away. This is an opportunity, the greatest test. So everything can be turned into gold when you use these principles of Stoicism. That you understand, I keep talking about this, but this is one thing, the most important thing you need to understand about Stoicism. What is good? What is bad? Virtue alone is good. Vice alone is bad. Everything else is indifferent. So when anything happens in life, you go, oh, you got a pay rise. Is this good or bad? It's nothing. Who cares? If you bus is late, is this good or bad? It's nothing. Who cares? It's how you react to it that matters. They say, is good health good or bad? Good health? I just described it as good. Is health, a healthy body, is it good or bad? Epictetus says, depends how you use it. You know, if you go around beating up old people and kicking buses and throwing bins on the floor and lamenting your life and cowering away and being impatient, then your health is terrible. But if you are a good person, and then your health is good. So it's all about how you use it. The only thing that can be good is your internal world, because you control it. Everything else you don't control. So you understand that this is good. And your goal is to always be good. And then when life offers you these impressions of good or bad, you test those impressions. Is this really good? Is this really bad? Well, it depends how you use it. And you break it down. It's like an argument. You have to prove it to yourself. And that's what the Stoics say. Literally do this. If you want to become Stoic, you do this. When you lose your job, you say, is this good or bad? And you keep testing the impression. You go, well, I'll have less money. Is money good or bad? Well, no, it's a preferred indifference, I suppose. It depends how you use it. What is good or bad? Or if I sit here cowering away and crying and pitying myself, because all men suffer, but not all men pity themselves, as Dr. Michael Segura says, then that would be bad. But if I see this as an opportunity, I see this as a sparring partner to make me stronger, make me more courageous, then it is good. So always test the impressions. Always see when life throws that challenge at you, this is your sparring partner. You can face that challenge like a sparring partner. And of course, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult to face that sparring partner. You've been challenged as God, nature, the universe, whatever you believe in, has given you this sparring partner to fight with. It's a gift. So throughout your day, when your boss is rude, or your microwave is broken, or it's raining, just see it as a sparring partner, teaching you something. You got to dip and dive and wrestle, and you're going to struggle. You might make a few mistakes. You might fall short of being a good man or a good woman. You might fall short of this, but you're trying. You're learning. You're growing like a true Stoic. So that's how to turn any circumstance into an opportunity, really. Because every circumstance is an opportunity. And it comes like, I've been having it a lot recently. This is how you be Stoic, is to do this. So I said the other day about me being fined £70 on the bus because my ticket didn't download in time. So you're not allowed to buy your ticket on the tram. Did I say bus? Tram. Yeah, you can't buy your ticket on the tram. I made this mistake, and then I got taken off a tram, got fined. They're all waiting around me, and I'm late to work, all this kind of thing. And for a while, I was relaying this conversation in my head, like, what should I have said to get out of this? What could I have said? What? And then, number one, I said to myself, out of my control. I can't change the past. It's done. I let go of that. Then I'm like, well, it's still bad. I've been fined money. Well, is it truly bad? Will I be thinking about this in 10 years' time? It's not bad at all. What is bad is if I start crying about this and pitying this and getting angry about this and lamenting my fortune, being angry at what God has handed me. Well, that would be bad. So forget that. Oh, but I'm going to be late to work and people are relying on me. Well, what did I do? I tested that impression, and then I just messaged the people that were relying on me, say, hey, I'm going to be late because such and such happened. And then everyone was okay with it. I let go of all those bads, and suddenly I'm just sat here on the bus going, well, what is God? Follow virtue. So I sat on the tram. I keep mixing up, but I normally catch a bus. Recently catching a tram. So I sit on that tram and I'm like, what can I do? Not much about it. I'm going to be late regardless. I just sit here and read the Discourses of Epictetus, listen to some music, and just enjoy, be present, you know? That's called testing impressions, and you really need to start doing it. That's how you truly become Stoic, testing impressions. Epictetus laughs at people. He goes on about it like, you know, I've been teaching you for years, teaching you about what is good and bad, what is in your control, what is out of your control. Yet you sit here and question, ask me questions if you should join Nero's court. If you should join Nero's court, because if I don't work for Nero and do the bad things he wants me to do and be a coward like he wants me to do, then he might have me killed. He might have me exiled. Epictetus is like, well, did I ever say exile is bad? They're like, no. Did I ever say death is bad? No. So, well, why are you even asking me then? You know the answer. Because they didn't test their impressions. You have to test it daily. It's like a skill. It's like going to the gym. You get stronger and stronger. You get better and better at this skill. Test your impressions. Wrestle every day with the sparring partner that life, God, the universe has given you, and you'll get so much better at this. And then eventually, you know, these things that once blindsided you, these things that once knocked you down, you literally, it happens to me all the time. Things that once like crippled me and made me so anxious and struggle so much and overthinking, rumination, all that kind of thing. These things, they happen to you, and you're like, yes, a worthy opponent. What am I going to get from this? That kind of thing. So I hope that makes sense. And if there was any 5-year-olds listening, I hope you understand that. I hope everyone understands that. I tried to make it very simple. The Stoics do a good job of simplifying these concepts. They're really good at it. Repetition, different examples, breaking it down, testing the impressions. They're very good at this. So tomorrow we'll be going through another lesson just like this from the Stoics. So I hope it helps you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you for listening.